Litho is like a straight up out of the 70s Pearl Jam, awesome place. You guys saw like all the Mudhoney Masters and the freaking Botch Masters. Yeah, we're really excited now. It's just so like rich with just like, I don't know, just awesomeness. Yeah, we're excited. We're really, really happy to be a part of that.
Yeah.
For that place to be part of our record. You know what I mean? Like, we've been working on this latest record now for a long time, so we wanted to find the exact right place to do it, and I think that this place is perfect, so we're pretty stoked. I kind of connect on stage more with Tim musically, I think. I mean, we all play together, of course, but I mean, my whole thing is, when I'm playing, it's such a different sound, because I played it with click track, so it's like bam, bam, bam all the time, and I'm singing, and it's just like, I kind of just hear Tim, because Tim is the one that I know the songs by. Do you know what I mean? Mm. Our last record, like a year and a half ago, we had all these electronic things, and like, there was no way to really do it live unless I played with like a click track, and I was like, oh no, because singing, playing with a click track and playing drums is I was so overwhelmed. But I finally sort of figured it out. I'm still not that great at it, but I think I've sort of figured it out, so. Kids that listen to this band for sure, like, what helps me do it, you know what I mean? Like, cause they're just so, like, forgiving and accepting and loving, and I don't even know. The kids that listen to this band are just true, like, music fans, you know what I mean? Like, the ones that I talk to just love what they're into and love us, and it's a super, super good feeling. It's humbling, you know what I mean? Like, to, like, walk out on stage in front of all these people that really give a crap about what you do. Do you know what I mean? Because like, I don't see myself or us, 6 dudes, as anything other than just a bunch of kids from Florida who don't really know what we're doing, who've been given like such a huge opportunity. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're just really not anything special in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, I've never really thought that. You know what I mean? Like, and to walk out on stage in front of these people that are so amped and excited to see just us play. And I know that sounds kind of conceited. I don't mean it like that, but it's really weird. You know what I mean? Like, for me, that's been one of the hardest things to get used to, is just seeing all these people like into it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so strange. When we started this band, you know what I mean? It was just 4 guys, these 3 other dudes, and me, who these other guys have gone on to different places in their life. One guy, Dallas, he's married now and has a dog and a house. And Luke, his name's Luke, I'm not really sure where he is. This other guy, Ray, I don't know where he is either. But we started this band, and we were just playing like heavy music, and we didn't really know what we were doing, you know what I mean? And we went through various changes, and just trying to play more metal type music, and just doing this or that. And then we toured like once or twice, you know, but I was in high school, and so there was no real way for us to really tour, do you know what I mean? So like, when I was 17 or 18, I just finished, well, sort of finished high school, Tim joined the band, and we started touring full time, and started kind of changing our sound and just making things different, and adding all these electronic things and doing all this different kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's just where it started from, you know what I mean? And it's been rad. Like, we just did it. We just worked as hard as we could, and just in the past year, like, one of the most humbling moments for me was we were in Bochum, Germany, and this was in December, and you know, you're in Germany, you're 10,000 miles from home, you don't know what anything is going to be like, and we walked on stage, like a sold out club, and these kids just knew every word to every song, and we asked how many of you guys can speak English, and 4 people raised their hand, and we were just blown away by the sheer, just like, I mean, here's 600 people who can't speak English at all, and you know what I mean, they know words to our stupid little songs, you know what I mean, like our silly little, but yeah, it's just,
that's pretty tough.
This band, this whole thing is just really just important to me, you know what I mean, like, it's important to me for people to know, like, what we're here for and what we're about. No, it's just important to me. Like, I think there's so much music now and so much art that's just done for money or done because being in a big band is cool. You know what I mean? And that's just so disgusting to me. Like the whole idea of that. Let's be in a band so we can make money or be cool. You know, to me, it's just not. It's about being here for a purpose. You know, our purpose being, you know, to let kids know that Jesus loves them. You know what I mean? Like our purpose being that. Like, but any band, any style of music, for people just to be doing it for a reason and not for like, you know, money or to be even. It just like, seems like these days being famous is cool. Yeah, we're not the kind of dudes that like hang out and sleep around and stuff. You know what I mean? Like we're just kids. You know what I mean? And like we definitely all grew up in Christian homes, but I think that definitely this having a relationship with God is kind of something you find yourself. You know what I mean? It's not like one of those things that like you can be taught it at home. You know what I mean? But like I definitely feel like it's something you find yourself for sure. You know, and definitely I totally believe that God gets you through your hard times. And yeah.
The new record is going to be a progression the same way every record's been. We never do the same thing. It's always kind of, we just take an idea and we do it, and we try to do it the best we can, but when you're doing a new record, like it's new. I mean, it's supposed to be different. It's supposed to be progression. I think that's what we're trying to do. I mean, I think it's gonna be a lot heavier. It's gonna be a lot more musical. It's gonna be not as quick. You're not gonna get it like right like that. You're gonna actually have to digest it. You're gonna have to think about it. You're gonna have to listen to it from front to back in the order that we put it in, because that's the way it's supposed to be. And you're gonna have to listen to it loud, and you're gonna have to listen to it the way it's intended to listen to, and you're gonna have to listen to it 3 times, 4 times, and then sit back and digest it all, and that's when you'll get your full opinion and assumption of what the record's supposed to be. I mean, I guess in every band there's a specific, you know, certain groups of people that maybe write the majority or the skeletons of the songs, and I think that's kind of where I come in. Like usually I'll just have an idea for a song, or we'll riff on an idea at sound check, or we'll come up with a kind of overall feel or vibe of what we want, and then I'll kind of think it out and put it together. Or a lot of times I'm always thinking, I'm always kind of listening to music and kind of looking at things and kind of just putting it all together in my head. A lot of times when I write a song, I already have the song pretty much mapped out in my head, or at least the first half of a song, just by kind of singing it in my head, or kind of coming up with a feel and then kind of going from there. And I think like that's where a lot of the ideas come from, is I'll usually just lay it down on the computer. We have like a small recording software program, and I just lay it down, and I usually bring it out and show the dudes, and then everyone kind of riffs on it. Or we'll start writing something as a group in sound check or practice, and we'll kind of get kind of a direction, and then I'll take it home and kind of play it out on the computer. And me and Aaron and Spencer do a lot of the arranging and song writing, and then like Grant and Chris and Grant, Chris, and James kind of come in, and we just all kind of just put it all together as a group. Everyone kind of plays their own integral role in everything. I mean, I think the thing that's different with us is like we're a band that has a lot of personal and emotional attachment from our personal lives carry over into the music. Where a lot of bands, you see, they're not happy with each other, or they're not happy as a group, but they can function and write music as a separate entity from, you know, separating personal and business, and where all of our business is personal, and everyone that works with us, works for us, is a friend and his family. And I think like that's what comes across with Underoath, and that's the problem that we run into a lot of times, is if there is a problem with someone, one person at home, like if you know, my mom died during the writing of our next record, like you would see it. Like if somebody had a breakup, like you would feel it in the music, you would see it. And I think that's really good at times and then really hard to get through at other times, because if everyone's not on the same page, it kind of bleeds through. And I think like that's kind of where, you know, we are as a band, and I think that's kind of the way we like it. I think like that's kind of what separates us from a lot of bands, is people can watch us live and they can tell if we're having a bad day, and they can watch us live and they can tell if we're having a good day. And I think it comes a lot of our personal lives come across in our music, and I think that might be where a lot of personal connection comes through with us as a band and other people. Is I think we bear a lot of what we do on our sleeves and through our music, and I think people know us a lot more than we think they do just by the way we write music and the way people perceive it and digest it and kind of make their own assumptions. And in turn, we've seen a lot of people take a lot of what we do the wrong way as well. But overall, yeah, I mean, live and writing, like we feed off of each other, and everyone plays their own role, and everyone's personalities come across in the music some way or another. And it's a very diverse, but I guess meshing unit. Like it works, but there's a lot of reasons why it shouldn't work, but it does. And that's something I think a lot comes in with like our faith too. A lot of times when we don't really necessarily feel like we have what it takes or the strength or the ideas or the creativity to do something, I feel like we kind of step back and realize that like we're all here because God put us here and God gave us our talents, and you know, once we let Him take control of everything, things kind of seem to work very smoothly. And I mean, if you just read in the Bible, like a lot of things, like He always used people who weren't necessarily like qualified for the job to go speak. Someone with a stuttering thing went to go speak to the Pharaoh. I mean, all these different people. If it's something that needs strength, He'll pick a weak person and He'll show them that, you know, through them, He's going to do it. And I think that's where we are. Is we're not taught musicians. We don't even know what we play half the time, and we just play it. And I think like, yeah, it's just He took 6 normal dudes that have a minuscule amount of talent and did something hopefully special.
Something was orchestrated, it'd be kind of lame, I think, because that takes all the originality and spontaneity out of a good live show. So it's kind of like, oh, cool, I'm going to see Cats the Musical tonight. At this part, they're going to do the freaking I throw my guitar around the back, and then I'll do a little hop. You know, that's cool if you're into it, but I think you can be a little bit more creative than that. You are a musician. But you know, with the live show, it's just I look around and I remember the time when we were still playing in front of, you know, 50 kids or 100 kids, you know, and our whole idea from standing out from any other band was to just move around and make loud noises and big wavy motions to get everyone's attention and kind of be like, hey, we're a band and you should like us and listen to us. So to me, I just see a bunch of dudes like freaking throwing their crap around and acting stupid and having a good time. So it's always kind of funny when I watch a live video, be like, I can't believe Chris freaking does, you know, really fast, or freaking anything like that, or Tim's just, you know, taking the guitar back here and doing this thing, and then it's back over here, and then it's back, and then it's like one hand, and you know, but yeah, so to me it's just all kind of like funny. It's not really anything planned, scripted. It's just like, go out, have a good time, throw your crap around, make noise, be loud, be young. My favorite move, though, as of right now, is Grant does this thing with his one foot. It kind of does this, like, kind of like stomping out the cigarette motion. I don't know if you can get this, but it's like this. It's kind of like hanging out, and I'm cool, and I'm putting out the cigarette is what I call it. So, I don't know. I think that one's pretty creative right now. I feel like we're doing something pretty good because they're all going crazy. And I don't know if it's us or if it's something that's going on behind us, but yeah, some nights it feels pretty good. And some nights it feels kind of weird, but it's all good, I guess. That makes sense. Tooth and Nail is cool because they let us do whatever we want pretty much, within reason, but you know, they're really supportive of their bands to an extent, and you do good things for them, they'll always do good things for you. And it's good people who work there. They're all real friendly and real nice and like down to earth and cool, and it's it's not always business with them. They're like friends, you know. When I come to Tooth and Nail, I want to hang out with John T. Frazier, man, and just freaking kick it old school and just, you know, go out to eat and talk about just dumb stuff that two normal people talk about, not a normal business relationship is. And, you know, same thing with Chad. Like, Chad's a friend before he is our A&R, you know. You can just call him up no matter what's going on in our life, and he'll pray for you, or, you know, he'll give you that fatherly, you know, good Christian advice if you need it. And that's just awesome to have, and that's something that I know a lot of people don't get at any other label.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, most of the time I'm just, like, focusing on what I need to do as far as, like, you know, music-wise, like, because I have to have, like, all these different settings set and everything, but, like, I just try to keep my mind focused, you know, on God the whole time, and try to keep my mind focused on, like, you know, the kids, and just, like, because, you know, you just look out and you see these kids, like, having a great time, and, like, you know, they want you to be having as good of a time as they are, and, like, and honestly, like, you know, I do, and it's just, yeah, it's a good time. It's just, like, for, you know, half hour, 45 minutes, you just get to go up there and just be stupid and play music, and yeah, it's fun. It's a good time. It's a ton of fun. Like, I definitely wouldn't want to do anything else. It's awesome. And I'm kind of a big guy, so I kind of have to hurry up and get it done before my body realizes what's going on, that I'm actually exercising and I'm getting a workout. So I just kind of like push it out for like 30 minutes, and then my body kills me afterwards. So yeah, I don't actually do any real exercise per se. Right now I have a PSP, and that's like my favorite thing. Like, it's the new PlayStation portable handheld game system. I really, really like that. I mean, other than that, you know, I've got my iPod and stuff like that, but I'm addicted to buying movies. Like, my DVD collection at home is just like ridiculous. And like, when we were home this last time, I went and bought like my whole like home entertainment system. I got like a new TV and surround sound and stuff, and I spend stupid money on that. Like, I'm really bad at that. So
Do you have a rec room in your new house?
that'd be nice. I always said that if we ever got to the point where we were making like a lot of money, like, and I had a house, I'd want to have a movie theater in it, like on like those dudes on Cribs, because like that would be like, I could die happy if I had a movie theater in my house. That would rule. I love movies so much. Movies are my jam. So yeah. Gosh, I know myself. The only real job that I had before doing this, I was a bag boy at a Winn-Dixie. There's not Winn-Dixies everywhere, pretty much just like a supermarket. I was making minimum wage, and I had to clean bathrooms, and it was just really bad. But I liked it though, because like, from the time I was like starting high school and like trying to figure out what it is I wanted to do, like, all that I knew is I wanted to like be able to talk to a lot of people and like interact with a lot of people. And once I got further on in high school, I knew that whatever my life's job was, I wanted to be able to travel and meet a lot of people. So like, this ends up being really, really good. But I used to not long ago, I quit my last job about a year ago. Like, right when our record came out, I was working at a nursery with like plants and stuff, because like everyone who worked there was like an older woman. So like, I was like the able-bodied young dude. So if there's anything that required any kind of physical labor, like, that's what I would have to do. So I was pretty much like a workhorse. But it was cool, because like they pretty much said I could come in and work when I wanted and leave when I want. And it was cool because like we weren't making a lot of money. We haven't really made money until recently, so it's like I always had to have something to go to, because I couldn't pay my cell phone bill, and like, we were just touring all the time, and I really wasn't making a lot of money. So whenever I was home, I was just going to clock in and work for a week and then leave back on tour. So I guess I've had 2 jobs, but only one like real deal job.
Is it cool going to Europe?
Yeah, Europe is kind of weird for us, I think. Like, when the first time we went there, it was just really, really crazy, because we had never been there before, we knew our record was out, but we didn't really know anything other than that. We didn't know if anyone was gonna come watch us. We didn't know anything, and we got there, and like every show on the tour was like sold out, and like there was all these kids like singing the words, and like half of them like didn't even speak English, so like it was really odd to hear like people singing along but not knowing what they're saying at all. And that was really like a mind-blowing thing, because I remember our first show in Germany, like there wasn't a lot of people that spoke English there at all. And I remember we were playing, and it was like the middle of the first song, and like everyone was like singing along. And I remember I looked over at Aaron, and he looked over at me, and like he was playing, he just kind of like did this thing, and he was like, I don't know, like it was really, really weird. But we enjoy the shows in Europe, but other than that, we're not much of a European band. Like the food's not very good, and there's a language barrier, and our money's not worth anything over there. So it's pretty much just like a hassle. But I've never been to Europe not on tour. I've never actually gotten to go and see things. I've never gotten to really enjoy myself in that aspect. So it might be different if I went there like on vacation or something. But honestly, I like the U.S. Like the U.S. is just awesome. Like it's like, yeah, it seems like every show that we've had lately has just been like amazing. Like especially being on the Warped Tour, like, you know, every day I walk out on stage, and like, you know, places where before when we played there would be like nobody there, there's just like, you know, thousands of people, and I'm just like, every day I'm just like, golly, like how does this happen? Like, because I remember, you know, last year and the year before that when we were playing shows on the Warped Tour, like I would see these bands and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I know we'd never get there, but that would be awesome, you know. And then like this year we're like doing that, and it's really odd because like I never pictured us being in that place.
We're all like best friends. Like we spend every minute of the day together. Like three of us, me and James and Tim, used to live together, so we pretty much every day of the year we're together. Well, I think this record is different than the last record. The last record was we all practiced like every day in this church that we had for like a month or two straight, and like kind of all came together and wrote the stuff. And like I think this time, since we've been touring so much, Tim, and we've had like computers and stuff now, like Tim's been running a lot of the songs, and like he'll just record like, you know, like on GarageBand or just drums kind of stuff. And so we have like all these ideas and stuff that are like recorded but not like together. So I think when we get home, we're gonna start doing it every day, and just like everyone kind of gets together and puts their 2 cents in. Usually Aaron and Spencer usually write all the lyrics together because obviously they're the ones singing them, and just kind of everyone goes off like what Tim usually writes or something musically, and then just kind of puts their own little flair to it, you know, does their own thing, writes their own parts. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the general way it goes.
Our new record's definitely going to be in a different direction. I'd say a lot of kids, I mean the kids have been coming to our shows recently, will somewhat expect it. Like we played a new song live, a lot of kids have asked us about it, and we've told them about just what we've been writing. And I don't know, I mean Underoath's a band that changes with every record, and it's just something that we do. And I feel like if you're not constantly changing, that you're going to write the same record twice and get left behind, and that's just not who we are. So yeah, you can never expect the same thing twice from us. But yeah, I know we're more excited than we've ever been, and more proud than we've ever been of what we've been writing. And yeah, I'm really excited about recording it. I mean, the stuff for our next record that we're working on now, we've been working on already a year. I don't remember a lot of it. I don't really try to do anything. I just know that this is what I've been doing all my life, and this is what I'm going to do, and I just have fun and enjoy myself and try to be in the right mindset. And just, if I have 30 minutes or if I have 45 minutes, I know that I just got to make it through it. Just don't kill yourself.
How do you get
So,
the mindset?
like, well, I mean, we stretch before we play, and we'll jump around and be stupid, and
we all pray together and just try to get in that right mindset. And it helps a lot just to go out there knowing that if there's 10 kids there or there's 2,000 or whatever, you're going to do the same thing because it's just what you do, you know. Just friends of friends. I met Chris a long time ago. My old band had played with him a couple times. And me and Chris were really good friends. Like, we'd hang out when we were both home. Actually, we pretty much lived together when we were both home because he stayed with his girlfriend in Brandon, which is where I live, and I was pretty much homeless, like living with different families or whatever. Yeah. And I don't know, he asked me to do it, and I was still in my other band, and I was in a band with my brother at the time, and I didn't want to leave the band or whatever, but it ended up, my old band broke up just for all sorts of different reasons, and they had gone on a tour with a fill-in guy, and they called me up, or Chris called me up, and I was like at a grocery store or something, and he was like, hey man, you should come practice with us. You know, we had this show that we have to do. Like, we had already agreed to do it because we had canceled it or whatever, and this other guy's not, you know, he just filled in for this one tour. We still don't have a singer, blah, 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 whatever. So I was like, sure, you know, whatever, I'll fill in for the show. My band broke up like a month ago or whatever, or not even that long. Like, it was seriously like led right into each other. Like, I don't think I had really stopped touring from band to band. And so I went to practice, and the first practice, they told me to learn some of the song, like make sure I knew some of the songs. And I think the one song I didn't know was the first song that they wanted to practice, and I kind of laughed it off or whatever. And we moved on to something else, and they all just pretty much told me they wanted me to be in the band. Like, they weren't going to try anyone out until I said no. And I took a while and thought about it, prayed about it, and all that good stuff. And by like the third practice together, before that show, we were already writing songs for the record. And like, it was just so, like, me and Tim and Aaron just clicked automatically. It was just like my old band, like the dude that I wrote everything together with. It was like that kind of chemistry thing. I know that's a really cliche, crappy word to say, but it's like, yeah, me and Tim and Aaron just from the get-go were just on the same page and like started writing stuff, and it worked out for the best. Like, we're all best friends and so happy, and we don't ever fight about really anything, really. Yeah, and I don't think the band's been this stable, like, without losing a member for this long yet, so we're all having a great time.